Hello, everybody. Welcome to another New Year's episode of Art Whisper 88. I have here a new Sharpie Magnum. It's a very wide tip, and I will use it to make some marks. And here I have Liquitex Basics acrylic. This is a very inexpensive paint which I got from Staples, and I just want to show you that I'm really not a paint snob. Uh, I use whatever works, and especially when in the process of teaching, I think it's best to use what you have. There's no need to go out and buy expensive stuff unless you have deep pockets. So I will start making marks here. By the way, this kind of mark making was inspired by a fellow YouTube artist that I admire a lot. His name is Drew Steinbrecher. And what he does is he uses a lot of markers and a gel plate. He takes children's books and he transforms them into delightful artworks. So I'm using his aesthetic as a kind of inspiration for my work. Okay, so that's my first mark. And I will let this dry for a few minutes before I proceed. Okay, now this is dried a bit. This is alcohol based. Now this is Liquitex Gold. And this is cadmium red. And just for contrast, I will do a little aqua green. So we'll start with the gold. Okay, now I may have put too much paint, but that's the thing about working on a small plate. You have to try to adjust. It's very easy to go overboard with the paint. I'm going to do my marks here. Okay, let's see what we got. Oh, it didn't pick up the marker, but I do like the result. It's pretty wild. Now let me try something else. I'm going to try to pick up those black circles. I'm going to try this titanium white and see how I make out. This time I'm not putting too much paint. I think the trick to picking up the first layer of marks is to use a very even and thin layer of paint. Okay, I'm going to try to experiment and leave this on for a few more minutes. Okay, it's been about 5 minutes. Let's see what we have here. Yeah, I think the key here is to wait until the paper absorbs. Very cool. Check this out. You know, when it's wet, the paper is a little curved, but as this dries out, it will flatten. I'm happy with this result. So the trick here is timing. The trick it really is having some patience and waiting for the paper to absorb the marks and the ink. I mean paint. I use ink and paint interchangeably. That's because when I took printmaking, in those days it was called printing ink, and that was a long time ago. And now we have all these modern inventions like acrylics and acrylic inks. So anyway, I will air dry this and move on to the next step. Okay, back from a short break. I will add some more marks here. I have to keep in mind that whatever I do here comes out reverse. air dry this for a few minutes. Again, I'm going to use this metallic gold. And some of this aqua green. Again, I'm going to add some marks. And since I'm trying to pick up the black circles, I will leave the paper on for at least 5 minutes. Okay, back from a short break. This has dried nicely. Now I want to add some collage to this piece. And I have my usual scraps here of tissue paper. Now usually what happens with this white tissue is once it gets mounted with Mod Podge, the tissue paper becomes almost invisible. So the image blends very nicely into the printed surface. Yeah, that's it for the first piece. So we'll go ahead and air dry this and move on to the next one. Okay, that's it for the second piece. Maybe do the third one. Okay, that's it for collage number 3. So all of these get air dried, and I will recap when they're all dried. Now this is a product that I use once in a while. It's called Abstract by Sennelier. It's a 3D liner. What it is really, it has a very thin nozzle, and it is a very thick acrylic, and it creates this effect like, well, I'll show you. So I want to add some of this orange. So I'm going to make some marks here. I think it's very effective. That's it for the second piece. And here's the last one. There. Somehow I couldn't be satisfied until I added these orange lines. So anyway, let me show you a close-up. Now, my whole point in doing these 8 by 10 images is I think that just because an image is small doesn't mean it can't have the impact of a large painting, because of the intricate quality of these pieces. They do have the gravitas of a large painting. That's the first image. Here's the second one. So you can see the 3D liner stands out. That's number 2. Here's the third and last one. Kind of like this one the best because it has a lot of color contrast. Especially this bright vermilion against the teal blue background. So I hope you like this video. Please share and like, and if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. And if you can, lend a hand and give some support to my PayPal to help keep this channel going. Thank you so much. And again, I want to wish everyone a Happy New Year, and I hope to see you next time.